Jani, good evening. Dumelang, le guy. Le nakite. Kya phila. Kamalam Kholekile. Ndiyabulela kakhulu ukuba nani today. My name is Kholekile. I'm not sure how to approach this because I'm just a simple entrepreneur. And in my eyes, I view the world and I look at it as a simple business solution. But just to add a few words in the topic that is being presented. In my past life, I was in the military. And in the military, when you are given a task, you focus on the task and you don't expand. And there is a saying that when you are in the army, you are given a task, you spend 3 days planning for that task and you execute it. And if you are in the police, you just go unplanned, you find anybody else and you hit that person and the task will be done. Yeah, you're missing the point, but it's okay. I think my approach today will be on 2 points. First will be on economics and governance. I am going straight to the solution that maybe KwaZulu-Natal should move away from this false pretense of saying politics and economics or business should not merge and become one. I'm arguing my point that the two should combine because the solution of or the future of KwaZulu-Natal is not going to be delivered from the chambers of the advocates or the political chambers or in parliament, nor is going to be delivered from the boardroom and businesses and so forth. We need to deliver a hybrid approach in stabilizing what is a critical burning point in our society, which is inequality. And the socio-economic situation in the province has created a situation where politics are no longer the solutions, and business on its own won't be a solution as well. I am saying this because scholars in the world of economics and in the world of governance, like Oli Osteen and Oliver Wilson, argue that if you divorce the two, we are likely to find the situation that we're finding ourselves in. And I think my colleague has alluded to that those who are in politics then becomes the thieves, then those who are in business become richer and richer. And the benefit is that those who have nothing then will remain poor as well. But it is quite interesting, the scholars like Ernest Exon from Ghana, who then looks at the market and indicate that the markets are an indicative of what is happening with power sharing. I think for the longest time, most of us possibly have been threatened by this narrative, I will call it a propaganda, that should you take a certain policy decision, the markets will respond. And I will argue that the most corrupt, if I have to use that word, countries, including the USA and Israel, their markets are not shaken. They are actually doing very well. And the most polite countries, like South Africa maybe, in terms of human upliftment, if I have to say, with those policies, whether they are driven by the ANC or so, their market is shaken. And once you deliberately take a decision to support a certain political stance, and the market in these days, I'm talking the capital, is not comfortable, we are likely to find ourselves backtracking. And I'm arguing these points that today, as we are sitting here, 9 hours ago, the Deputy President of the country and Deputy President of the ANC is sitting somewhere else and discussing why should we consider moving on with the BEE. A policy decision that was deliberately taken to empower us. Today we are questioning ourselves whether is it worth doing. So it shows as well that we are not stable as well ourselves as people who have supported a certain policy. And I'm in agreement with you, Sfiso, that actually, as we see today, the ANC is still in control, whether it's super green or super red or it's yellow, but the ANC is in control. But there is no purpose for ANC to be in control, but while we're still suffering as a black community. I'm going to be very short in response to the question that is being presented. My argument today, what I would like us to discuss further, is the issue of ethical leadership. That is my point as an entrepreneur, that I would love to put on the discussion. That ethical leadership possibly is one amongst the other points that will stabilize our thinking moving forward, where there is a social consciousness, political consciousness, grounded on ethical belief that we as the people are able to stabilize our future. And that could be achieved through dialogues like this. That will be achieved through men and women who are prepared to sacrifice and leave their qualifications, their gowns, and their anything else, and able to sacrifice and say, I stand for ethical leadership. And today, as we discuss, I think in the back of our minds, what should be important to us is what type of future are we going to be living for our children and our grandchildren. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And